I'll go first. We have a huge tattoo pavilion downstairs. I had 130 books shipped. We're selling them for the lowest price we've ever sold them. The book is regular. The book is generally only available online directly through me. We managed to get some through Diamond Distribution, but in general, the book is only generally available through me, where we'll sign the book online for you. It's $55 online plus shipping, which is $25 or $20, so the book will cost you $75 if you get it online. We're selling it for $40 downstairs. There's a whole bunch of the tattooers who are featured in the book. They're down there with Jeff this year. We're all happy to sign the book for you and everything else. So if you just listen to the buzzing and hear the tattoo pavilion, we're kind of in the back corner with the TV, and you can pick the book up downstairs.
Is that where the screams were coming from, I heard? So we're in booth 125. CompletusPublications.com is also where you can get our stuff. It's only available online and through Amazon or CompletusPublications.com. But this is the debut, world premiere, as it were, of the Guide to Prototypes. We're really pleased with how that one's come out, and the great job that Matthias did in designing that for us. So this is the first time it's been available, and much cheaper, obviously, to pick it up here and avoid yourself all the shipping costs.
I believe you can get 1,000 collectibles at Barnes & Noble. It's the last time I saw it.
And we are taking, we're in booth 107, and we're taking registration for the future notification of when it's going to be available for pre-order.
And everyone should go out and buy these, because that's how the next ones get written. So they're going down. Gotta make a picture. Other questions? All in the front. The question is there an estimated time of finishing the book?
That was the stricken question.
I was not allowed to ask the question.
I have a contract with these gentlemen, and I can't answer that. No, we are in final editing stages, and it's definitely a lot more work editing this book than I anticipated. Never edited a book before. I'm hoping in upcoming months, maybe within 6 months, to have it finalized. Every time I go through these 1,100 pages, I continually find things that I want to improve, change, rewrites. You always going to find a little bit of mistakes, even sometimes maybe some design changes or add photography, something that I think would be good for the fans. Somebody the fans would like to see, something that's special that came with the item. So Steve Bruno, my photographer, I'm driving him crazy by resending him a lot of my toys to photograph at different angles or different shots of the special things, so we could add it in some of the pages. So I'm in the stage of the editing and the redesigning and rewriting some of the stuff. So I'm hoping to have that finalized within 6 months and off to the printers. No, because the printers in Hong Kong, it's about a 3-month process. So if I had it done by September 1st, say in 2 weeks, then it's about a month process to get the book proof on it, and sign off on it, make sure there's no final last minute corrections, and then it's an additional 2 months to have that printed and ship it. So it's a 3-month process once I'm done with it. Yes. Thank you.
A little bit further back, Marty.
I would like to know what you guys do as a regular job for self-publishers and what your education background is. Because I'm sure you're not all independently run. Be able to just write.
If everybody buys my book, I will be, I suppose. No. Gus works in computers. He does computers, and then I'm a chemist. So that's what we do for our real jobs. And then spend all of our evenings editing.
And I'm a architectural technology. I have a degree in that, and I went into property management, developing high-rise buildings here in South Florida. So we have about 250 high-rise buildings that I oversee, and that's my full-time 40-hour job. And like Duncan, I go home I'm up till probably about 1:30 to 3:30 every single night working on this, and then start again my day with my other job.
I actually just quit my 10-year television career. I went to television school for 2 years, and I worked in TV, kind of in a low-man position as an operator. And my job was literally to watch TV for about 6 years. And then my last job, I was an assistant director of program at Super Channel, which I just quit. I spent the last 3 months unemployed while I opened up my old tattoo shop. So I now have a brand new tattoo shop, which we opened a week ago. We decided to come to Celebration right after doing that. So me and one of the tattooers came down, and it's a high-end tattoo shop slash toy store slash comic book store slash art gallery. So it's something very different. It has something really cool to offer everyone. So that's now my whole job is to make my shop successful.
I commute for a living. As does Pete, since we both live in the same town. Yeah, I work in marketing for food sale. Pete works in online. And
I have to say, as a Star Wars author, I have probably the best job. Because I get to write about this stuff all the time, every day. It's all I do is write about Star Wars from 8:30 in the morning till 5:30. And so that's my day job and my job, I guess.
there's some people who think that I have something to do with Lucas licensing, or that I get one of these products. I don't. I mean, occasionally licensing will ask me my opinion on something, or have me sit on a meeting with a potential new licensee, maybe a high-end licensee, because they're going to have collector items and to see what I think. But my job really has nothing to do with collectibles or licensing at all.
It's wrong. I have the very best job in the world. I have a degree in geography, and I trained as a database designer and developer for many years. And now I work for Mr. Sansweet 24 hours a day.
I actually had that job for 4 months.
I go through people very quickly.
More questions? Again in the front.
What are the legal and copyright issues involved?
So the question is on legal and copyright issues with, and dealing with Lucasfilm as a legal entity.
It's self-publishing you got to worry about the most, because we're not licensed by Lucasfilm. So it's a matter of having good friends in high places who can help you out and cross your fingers. For me. Oh yeah.
It's tricky. I've tried to help everybody, almost everybody up here who's done a self-published book, and mostly what to avoid. I mean, there are clearly legal precedents over what you can put on a cover of a book, what you can say as far as a disclaimer that will mitigate. I mean, anybody who wants to sue you can sue. It doesn't matter whether they're totally 100% wrong or they're just trying to scare you or anything else. And the idea is you try to lessen that risk as much as possible. So if the only thing someone is concerned about is that your book logo looks like the logotype of their brand, then maybe it pays to change it, and then they won't bother you anymore, and then maybe put a disclaimer that it's not affiliated with this certain company. So it's all according to how you handle it. You avoid, to the best of your ability, doing something that looks like you are deliberately trying to market your book by the book itself, by looking like the product or brand that you're talking about. But if you have purchased items and you are photographing those items or writing about those items, there's pretty good precedent out there that as long as you're not implying, unlike a licensed publisher, that it's the official Star Wars guide or whatever. I mean, that to me was the silliest thing. Random House, whose Del Rey subsidiary, publishes the official line of price guides, was just constantly publishing official Star Wars price guides when they actually had no right to do it. And if Lucasfilm couldn't or wouldn't challenge that, then there had to be something going on there. I think the more you do a coffee table type book, picture book, the less you're going to get hassled, because Lucasfilm just doesn't have room or have a desire in its publishing schedule for a book like that. And so, and if you're doing self-publishing, you're printing, at least initially, relatively small units.
Yeah, when I was designing this book, you're always walking a fine line. You want it to feel like Star Wars, but you can't have it exactly be Star Wars. So you want the design to have the look and the feel. You don't want it to come across like a strawberry shortcake book and have Star Wars items pictured in there. So you want to do that, but you don't want to infringe on any copyrights or any type of logo, stylized stuff like that. So you want the feel, but you walk that fine line to make sure you don't cross any lines.
Other questions?
Do you envision a prototype book coming out sometime in the next few years?
What? Is this on?
Do you envision a prototype book coming out in the next few years?
I envision a prototype book being available right now.
Sorry.
Okay.
Booth 125.
Bootleg.
Oh, okay, there we go.
I know a couple of the big bootleg collectors in the hobby have expressed considerable interest in it. I mean, it's obviously not one that Lucasfilm is going to tackle, am I right, Steve? So I know a lot of the big bootleg collectors have expressed interest in doing a book like that, but again, it's, the time, energy, and money that is required to self-publish a book of any scale is daunting. And I think they're just trying to establish if there's going to be enough of a market for them to make it worth all that time, energy, and money. Yeah, and I'm sure that for those of us who have self-published here, it's going to be a very different number for each one of us. I know
Questions on the cost of self-publishing?
I know for me that I personally invested into my book. By the time I got everything marketed and the travel and everything else, I was probably pushing $40,000.
You got to sell a lot of books to make that back. And then when you think, like, for example, the comprehensive price guide that we did, that was going to be available, we thought, for C3 in 6 months. When we started it, we're like, oh, we can have this ready in 6 months for C3. The 5 years later, when it was actually finally done, we had put in thousands of man hours, and just the cost of what value you put on the time, the thousands of hours that you put into it goes for a ton of time, a ton of. So in that sense, you're never going to make your money back if you think about it from that perspective.
More questions?
Aside from being an author, is there, at all in your collectors, is there anything, or what is your prize piece that you guys, and maybe a story of how you have to acquire that piece as well?
So the question is about what's the most, prized piece in your books?
I think the cereal box with the panel.
Yes.
Or in your private collection?
Or in your collections.
I know my item is I have the original artwork for the Droid Boba Fett, so that one's hanging on my office wall. I'll keep that one forever.
I got, as a wedding gift from my wife, the large size IG-88, the Kenner one in a box. And that was something that up until that time I had been searching forever, since